Hello everyone, this is me, Devasmita Sharkar. Today we are going to start with a new topic, and this is Women Change the World. So let's begin. In the previous chapter in the previous video, we saw how women's work in the home is not recognized as work. We also read how doing household work and taking care of family members is a full time job and there are no specific hours at which it begins or ends. In this chapter, we will look at how outside the home and understand how some occupations are still seen to be more suitable for men than for women. We will also learn about how women struggle for equality. Getting an education was and still is one way in which new opportunities were created for women. This chapter will also briefly raise the different types of efforts made by the women's movement to challenge discrimination in more recent years. This is some here, but we it's not so important, so I am just skipping these two pages. Fewer opportunities and rigid expectations. A lot of children in Rosie Ma'am's class drew women as nurses and men as army officers. The reason they did this is because they feel that outside the home too women are good at only certain job. For example, many people believe that women make better nurses because they are more patient and gentle. This is linked to women's role within this family. Similarly, it is believed that science requires a technical mind and girls and women are not capable of dealing with technical things. Because of this so many people believe in the stereotypes. Many girls do not get the same support that boys do to study and train to become doctors and engineers. In most families, once girls finish school, they are encouraged by their families to see marriage as their main aim in life is marriage. Breaking stereotypes. Engine drivers are men, but 27-year-old Lakshmi Lakra from a poor tribal family in Jharkhand has begun to change things. She is the first woman engine driver for Northern Railways. Lakshmi's parents are not literate, but they struggled and overcame many hardships to make sure their children got an education. Lakshmi studied in a government school. Even in school, Lakshmi helped with the homework and did odd jobs. She studied hard and did well and then went on to get a diploma in electronics. She then took the railway board exam and passed it on her first attempt. Lakshmi says, I love challenges, and the moment somebody says it is not for girls, I make sure I go ahead and do it. Lakshmi has had to do this several times in her life. When she wanted to take electronics, when she rode motorcycles at the Polytechnic, and when she decided to become an engine driver. Her philosophy is simple. As long as I am having fun without harming anyone, as long as I am doing well and helping my parents, why should I not lead a lifestyle of my choice? This this story is adapted from Driving Her Train by Neeta Lal Women's Future Service. It is important to understand that we live in a society in which all children face pressures from the world around them. Sometimes this comes in the form of demands from adults. At other times, they can be because of unfair teasing by our own friends. Boys are pressurized to think about getting a job that will pay a good salary. They are also teased and bullied if they do not behave like other boys. You may remember that in your class 6 book you read about how books at an early age are encouraged not to cry in front of others. Xavier was happy with the results of his class 10 board exams. Though his marks in science and maths were not high, but he had done well in his favorite subjects, which is history and languages. When his parents saw his report card, and however, they did not look pleased at all. My goodness, Xavier, you have managed only 65% in maths. Your marks in physics are low too. I know, Mama, but it's okay because I don't want to take maths or science. I want to study history. Why do you want to take history? Think about your future. You have to get a good job. History will not help. It has no scope. But I don't like maths or science. Be sensible, my son. Take maths and you can study computer side by side. The job market for computer is very high. Is very good. Learning for change. Going to school is an extremely important part of your life. As more and more children enter school every year, we begin to think that it is normal for all children to go to school. Today, it is difficult for us to imagine that school and learning could be seen as out of bounds or not inappropriate for some children, but in the past, the skill of reading and writing was known to only a few. Most children learned the work their families or elders did. For girls, the situation was worse. In communities that taught sons to read and write, daughters were not allowed to learn the alphabet. Even in families where skills like pottery, weaving, and craft were taught, the contribution of daughters and women was only seen as supportive. For example, in the pottery trade, women collected the mud and prepared the earth for the pots, but since they did not operate the wheel, they were not seen as potters. In the 19th century, many new ideas about education and learning emerged. Schools became more common, and communities that had never learnt reading and writing started sending their children to school. But there was a lot of opposition to educating girls even there. Yet many women and men made efforts to open school for girls. Women struggled to learn how to read and write. So till this we have seen that women were not given the same respect or same chances that men get. There were many stereotypes that tells that girls' main aim in life was marriage, and for boys, the main aim or the important thing is to become a doctor or is to get a job. So then we have seen that 27-year-old Lakshmi Lakra from poor tribal family in Jharkhand has begun to change things. She is the first engine driver for Northern Railway. Lakshmi, so means this person's parents were not literate, but they struggled and overcame many hardships to make sure that their children got an education. Lakshmi studied in a government school. Even going to school, she helped her mother with her household chores and did odd jobs. She studied hard and did well and went to get a diploma in electronics. She then passed the railway board exam in her first attempt. Lakshmi says that she loves challenges, and the moment somebody says it is not for girls, she makes sure that she go ahead and do it. Lakshmi said this. Lakshmi has done this several times in her life, like when she wanted to take electronics, when she rode motorcycles at the polytechnic, and when she became an engine driver. Her philosophy is simple. As long as she is having fun without harming anyone, as long as she is doing well and helping her parents, then why she would not get a chance to lead a lifestyle of her choice? This is her philosophy. Then we can see that the important is thing that all children are pressurized by the society. But sometimes these pressures come from the adults as demands. They always tell their children that means all the boys are pressurized to think about getting a job, and then they would pay a good salary. And for girls, they all the adults pressurize them to get married. So it's a comic strip which tells that the savior wants to go forward with history and languages, but her parents pressured him and told that he have to get a good job in his future, but history and languages has no scope. Then her father told that to take for further pressurized him to take math, so because or computer, because the job market for computer was very good. Then we can see that going to school is an extremely important part of our life in modern times, but in past or in earlier times it was not. Ma- no daughters or no females are allowed to study. Because if they study, then they would become a widow in their future. If we see an example of pottery, then we can see that women collected the mud and prepared the earth for the pot. But since they did not operate the wheel, which is only operated by the males, so hence they are not seen as potters. So, in the 19th century, many new ideas and education and learning emerged. Schools became more common, and communities that had never learned reading and writing started sending their children to school. But there was a lot of opposition for educating girls even then from the societies. But still, many women have managed to get themselves educated. So here is a short story about Ramabai. So she is Ramabai with her daughter. Ramabai was born on 1858 and died on 1922. She was the champion. She championed the cause of women's education. She never went to school, but learned to read and write from her parents. She was given the title Pandita because she could read and write Sanskrit, a remarkable achievement in as women then were not allowed such knowledge. That time Sanskrit was not taught to any females, because as females do not get educated and Sanskrit is such a hard language, they do not get to them. But Ramabai learned Sanskrit from her parents, and thus she got a title which is Pandita. She went on to set up a mission in Khedgaon near Pune in 1898, where widows and poor women were encouraged not only to become literate but to be independent. They were taught a variety of skills from carpentry to running a printing press, skills that are not usually taught to girls even today. The printing press can be seen in the picture on the top left corner. Ramabai's mission is still active today. So this is the printing press, and this is Ramabai with her daughter. Let us read about the experience of Rashundari Devi, who born on 1800 and died on 1890. And she was born in West Bengal. At the age of 60, she wrote her autobiography in Bangla. Her book, Tilted Amar Jibon, is the first known autobiography written by an Indian woman. Rashchandra Devi was a housewife from a rich landlord's family. At that time, it was believed that if a woman learned to read and write, she would bring bad luck to her husband and become a widow. Despite this, she taught herself how to read and write in secret well after her marriage. She would start walking at dawn, and I would start talking. Means this now became becomes her story. I would start walking at dawn, and I would still be at night, be at it until well beyond midnight. I had no rest in between. I was only 14 years old at the time. I came to nurture a great longing. I would learn to read, and I would read a religious manuscript. I was unlucky in those days. Women were not educated. Later, I began to resent my own thought. What is wrong with me? Women do not read. How will I read? How will I do it? Then I had a dream. Then she had a dream that she was reading a manuscript of Chaitanya Bhagavat, the life of a saint. Later in the day, as I sat cooking in the kitchen, I heard my husband say to my eldest son, Bepin, I have left my Chaitanya Bhagavat here. When I asked for it, bring it in. He left the book there and went away. When the book had been taken inside, I secretly took out a page and hid it carefully. It was a job hiding it, for nobody must find it in my hands. My eldest son was practicing his alphabets at that time. I hid one of them as well. At times I went over that, trying to match letters from that page with the letters that I remembered. I also tried to match the words with those that I would hear in the course of my days with tremendous care and effort, and over a long period of time I learned how to read. After learning the alphabet, Rashmi Devi was able to read the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Through her own writing, she also gave the world an opportunity to read about women's life in those days. Rashmi Devi wrote about her everyday life experiences in details. There were days when she did not have moments, rest, no time to sit down and eat. So this is the story of Rashundari Devi. She secretly learned how to read and write by herself. Unlike Rashundari Devi and Rokia Hussain, we who were not allowed to read and write, large number of girls attend school in India today. Despite this, there were continue to be many girls who leave school for reasons of poverty, inadequate school facilities, and discrimination. Providing equal schooling facilities to children from all communities and class backgrounds, and particularly girls, continues to be a challenge in India. We will learn this later on in our next video, but before ending, I want to read this part. This is the biography of Rokia Shakawat Hussain and her dreams about Ladyland. Rukia Shakawat Hussain was born in 1880 and died in 1932. She was born into a rich family who owned a lot of land. Though she knew how to read and write Urdu, she was stopped from learning Bangla and English. In those days, English was seen as a language that would expose girls to no ideas which people thought were not correct for them. Therefore, it was mostly boys who were taught English. Tokyo learned to read and write Bangla and English with the support of her elder brother and an elder sister. She went on to become a writer. She wrote a remarkable story, Tilted Sultana's Dream, in 1905 to practice her English skills when she was merely 25 years old. The story imagined a woman called Sultana, who reaches a place called Ladyland. So, Ladyland is a place where women had the freedom to study, work, and create inventions like controlling rain from the clouds and flying air cars. In this Ladyland, the men had been sent into seclusion, their aggressive guns and other weapons of war defeated by the brain power of women. As Sultana travels in Ladyland with sister Sarah, she awakes to realize that she was only dreaming. As you can see that Rokia Shakawat Hossain was dreaming of women flying planes and cars even before girls were being allowed to go to school. This was the way in which education and learning had changed Rokia's own life. Rukia did not stop at getting education just for herself. Her education gave her the power not only to dream and write but also to do more to help other girls go to school and to build their own dreams. In 1910, she started a school for girls in Kolkata, and to this day, the school is still functioning. This school is Shakarat Memorial in Ravindra Sadan. So, learning to read and write led some women to question the situation of women in society. They wrote stories, letters, and autobiography describing their own experiences of inequalities. In their writing, they also imagined new ways of thinking and living for both men and women. So, today, till this much. We will in our next video we will start from schooling and education today, and there is only some we will do that and complete it. Okay, bye bye, stay home and stay safe.